Hi, I'm Erica from my phone and welcome to another video. Today is a very, very special day, and that's because Red Taylor's version is now out. I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Like, I know that this is going to be an incredible album because I've heard it, most of it before, and it was incredible. And, like, I would argue it's my number one album, probably. I haven't checked to see if something recent has beat it. I have to think in my head. But for the longest time, this has been my number one album. And there's a good reason for that. It's just because it's incredible, so diverse in styles, storytelling, and lyrics, always on point. The instrumentation is always on point, but it's different. And that's so cool. And I'm very excited to see how we get these additions with the from the vault tracks, which is what we're specializing in on this video. I'm not doing the whole 2 hours and 10 minutes because I gotta sleep, first of all. And second of all, because I know most of this album, like the back of my hand. If it's my number one album, I've heard it so many times. I don't know how many times I've heard it. I listen to it at least once a year. I always listen to it on its birthday each year. And so I've heard it recently too. But I'm really excited to see the new version come out. We've waited 5 months, 22 weeks, I guess 21 since she moved it up one. But we've waited a long time. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. We're going to start with Better Man, track number 22, and go all the way to track 30, which is the 10-minute version of All Too Well, which I'm already gonna start sobbing. I already know that. But anyway, let's get into it. Also, for track listing, I'm not gonna put From the Vault and Taylor's version because that's just too much. I don't have that energy. Y'all know it's a song from the vault, and it's definitely Taylor's version. With that, track number 22 is Better Man. I'm really personally excited. I've heard obviously the Little Big Town version, but I'm excited to see how it sounds when it's just Taylor singing it. Ooh, I think it might be in a different key. Ooh, I love her lower register coming in here. The permanent damage you did to me. This pre-chorus sounds different, but also very similar. I feel like we've fully gone to country Taylor. Like the back of my hand. I just wish you were a better man. Yeah, you tell him. Don't talk down to Taylor Swift. She's Taylor Swift. Ooh. There's so much depth in this bridge. We might still be in love if you're a better man. Doesn't that a hit? In the middle of the night, I can feel you again. Ooh, the background vocals from her? Yes. You would have been the one if you were a better man. So that was Better Man. Sounds different when she sings it. I mean, it's more Taylor Swift, if that makes sense. Her voice for it is a little bit different than Little Big Town in it. It definitely feels, I feel like Better Man was a little more psychedelic. I don't know. That makes no sense. Because it's not like a psychedelic rock or anything like that. It just gave me a new agey vibe when I heard it, like a new age type country. And this gives me this is country Taylor. And yeah, I'm ready for the rest of this. I feel like I'm very much in the Red era now. And I want to keep vibing for sure. All her vocal runs, stunning. There were some times where she did harmonies with herself, and it's oh, just so good. Yeah, this is a great way to dip my toe into the vault since I have heard the song the other one before. And it's so interesting to hear a song for the first time when that got a CMA award for her songwriting. So good for her, honestly. I'm glad Better Man is getting the flowers it deserves and also gets the version that it deserves as well. Track number 23 is Nothing New featuring Phoebe Bridgers. I know that some of the lyrics were sampled in one of the like Lover deluxe versions, which I own, but I don't remember much of the lyrics. I think it's like, how could you know so much at 18 but nothing at 22? That's all I really remember of it. But it features Phoebe Bridgers, which is an artist I've also reacted to on this channel before and have really enjoyed getting to know her as well. So I'm excited to see them come together on this track. Girls go out and have your fun. Go and slay the ones that who actually do it. Soaring through the sky. She looks like she's been through it. Is this like a feminine rage thing? Once I lost my novelty. I've had too much to drink tonight. Taylor. That's the line. Will you still want me when I'm nothing new? We get a female artist get a whole verse, finally. You can't roll your eyes with affection. My cheeks are growing tired of turning red and faking smiles. Someone else lights up the room. Growing up to breaking down. Oh, that's a contrast. It's a fever dream. I'll say I'm happy for her, then I'll cry myself to sleep. I wonder if they'll miss me when they drive me out. Everything at 18, but nothing at 22. Still want me when I'm nothing new. So that was Nothing New. I'm devastated. Am I gonna cry before All Too Well 10 Minute? I'm feeling the emotion of crying, at least. I don't know if it's gonna get to tear ducts yet. Ooh. That hit. That felt like the perfect Taylor Swift Phoebe Bridgers collab. I loved that we finally, this is the first time I believe ever, that we've gotten a Taylor Swift collaborating with a female artist, with Taylor Swift being the main artist, where the female artist also gets like a verse and like actually gets to not be just a background vocalist. Which, good for Phoebe. She deserves it. That's so exciting. I know within the fandom, people are very pumped about that probably. And I think it also is just the perfect collaboration in that it gave me the feeling of a Phoebe Bridgers song and how sad it was. I felt devastated. But I mean, I don't think Phoebe Bridgers helped in writing it. I think she just delivered it with, you know, how beautiful her voice is. Ooh, this is hitting me because first of all, I'm 22. So this is the right time for this version to come out, like Red in particular, because I am 22. I will be listening to 22 Taylor's version later and being like, yeah, let's party. We keep dancing like we're 22. But this is the other side of the coin of, first of all, getting too drunk and just the idea of your novelty wearing out and like you're growing up and it's hard, like being a 20-something. And ooh, the Nothing New, it kind of reminds me of like melodrama with liability. That's till all the tricks don't work anymore and they're bored of me. And I also just feel like she was mentioning, I think I'll meet her and it's not like her future self. It's actually like her successor in the industry. Like kind of like the Lucky One, where she's thinking about people replacing people in the industry. And we've recently gotten people in the industry who are like the people who learned from the Swifties, like Conan Gray, Olivia Rodrigo. Like we have these artists that are very clearly Swifties. And they are like these new big things. And while I think a lot of people still love Taylor, like she's still like in the top like 30, I think, most listened to artists on Spotify right now. So like she's still having her moment for sure. But like she's worried. And this is something that she's thinking about like 5 albums ago. And this is before, I guess, before 1989, like kind of like shook the world and like made Taylor Swift definitely main artist, will stay main artist forever. Like she's really thinking about that in like industry stuff. And it's interesting because like her talking about alcohol, like she didn't talk about that until like I think Reputation. So the fact that she's really like dealing with that here and then it got cut probably because this song is sad and it doesn't have as much to do with enjoying love as much or hating love. It's not as much heartbreak, it's a heartache rather that is caused by just growing up and everything. This is like her never grow up for Red. And it's devastating. I'm really like this song. If she submits Red Taylor's version, like this is one of those songs that I think is a good reason. And we're on the track 2 of the 9 that we're reacting to tonight. So she really has me in my feels right now. And I don't know, Taylor, if I'm going to be able to recover. But with that, let's go into track number 24, which is Babe. So at least it's a song I know, so I'm not going to be blindsided in terms of devastation, but I'm excited to see this arrangement. I don't know why Sugarland isn't on here. Maybe contract reasons, or maybe they're not as cool as they were before. I have no idea. Oh, already thinking of some background vocals. Big mistake, A. Never should have made. You said no one else. How could you do this, babe? Oh, there's that promises, promises in the background parts. Oh, okay. Get a hit at high note. Your secret has its consequence, and that's on you, babe. Okay, sing, girl. Oh, that's distinct. Okay, that was distinct. I think the background like vocals sound different on my speaker than they are. Extra promises, promises. So that was Babe, Taylor's version from the vault. Honestly, okay, I think I need to hear this one again because I remember the original, at least, like would go pan is like the musical term where you hear in like one ear and then the other, and like also I guess doing things in stereo as well rather than mono. And so like you'd hear babe, 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 like it had that vibe, and it was very like surround sound to some extent, like if you're listening in headphones. And I think my speaker is kind of messing with me because since you're only hearing on one side, you're not hearing it as much, and so it's like dampening and muffling it a lot. So instead of hearing it being a surround sound, it's just like, you really blew this, babe. Babe, babe. Like it's not the same that I think it actually is. And so I need to hear it again. If it is like similar and comparable enough to what I just heard, then I definitely like the Sugarland one better. I like that version better. I don't think I need the promises in it. I think I just like it. I don't know. I listen to Babe a lot more than Better Man. And that's not because I disliked Better Man. I think it's just, I listen to songs that have Taylor's voice more often, I guess. Especially at that point. And I guess for me, I got used to it so much on that this almost feels like a cover version. And I don't know. It also is different and very distinct, I think, from the original in terms of like the vocalist. I don't know who the vocalist in Sugarland is, but the vocalist of Sugarland, like she has a very distinct sound, and I don't know, I vibe with it more. There was a music video and everything, like there wasn't a whole like moment for that song, and so I'm curious on why Sugarland's not here. Like I feel like it must be a contract thing. I feel like, I mean, she performed with Sugarland, so I can't imagine them not be on good terms. But maybe they're not now. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. This one wasn't my favorite. I mean, if I was to say if Babe was comparable to most of Red, I would have already said, like, probably not. But, like, I don't know. It's not that big of a moment here for me. Track number 25 is Message in a Bottle, which I found out earlier today is written / produced by Max Martin and Shellback. So I'm excited for a banger. Banger time. I became hypnotized. Feeling like a face in the crowd. I'm reaching for you, terrified. I could be the one that you dream of. This kind of gives pop energy, but like fearless lyrics. But also does give 22 and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together energy. Ooh, that percussion is so good. Workdays are endless. Mood. Replaying your laughter. Oh, that's cute. Disaster. Yes, okay. Synthesize. Could be the one that you dream. London. Like, come back, be here. Ooh. Yes, we got some lower register. I could be the reason you don't sleep at night. You could be the one that I love. Yes. Now I'm standing hoping that this gets to you. I like that change. So that was Message in a Bottle. Bop. 1989 before 1989 was 1989. Yeah, that was fun. That's poppy. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It doesn't fit, I think, on the album, like in my head as much. I'm sure we could have made it work, but like, I get why it was, but like, I really like it. Like, I really want it. Yeah, I really like it. Like, I understand why Don't You off of the Fearless Taylor's version was not kept on, but I really love it and I like it more than some of the Fearless tracks. And here, yes, it's a little, you know, burst of energy that is nice. I think it fits in Red, but it also could fit on 1989. So it's kind of cool that we get that preview into the pop. Much like, you know, the You All Over Me was a foreshadowing of Clean, and Mr. Perfectly Fine was a foreshadowing of All Too Well. Like, we get to see those little moments and see what did I like from a song and how did I take it into a new era. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed the song. It was fun, very pop, very much, especially within that early 2010s pop. So I like it. It was a fun time. I will be jamming out to it. I will be bopping so much to it. I mean, we always love a good upbeat number. And it's nice to not have every song in the vault track section be some slow or super sad songs that got cut. It's nice to have like a little burst of energy. Track number 26 is I Bet You Think About Me, featuring Chris Stapleton, and it's explicit. Oh my God. Much to think about. 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. Again. The girl in your bed? I bet your friends tell you that she's better than me. Okay, this kind of gives Betty energy now. It's the harmonica. Oh, Chris Stapleton coming in. I'm harder to forget. Oh my god. This is Country Taylor. You grew up in a Silver Spoon gated community. Tell them, Mom. I was raised in a farm, not on a mansion. The Christmas tree farm. You can't help who you fall for. You said we're too different. Is this how this breakup happened? I don't have to be your shrink to know that you'll never be happy. The voices are so loud. Why did you let her go? The love that you're looking for is the love that you had. Chasing maple leaf status? None of that mattered because you were with me. Your cool indie music concerts? The indie record that's much better than mine? Your organic shoes? Oh my god, she wrote a song about me? This is the song. So that was I Bet You Think About Me. I bet I'm gonna think about this song for a while. Jake Gyllenhaal is destroyed. Right? I mean, it's him, right? I think. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. That's intense. I don't have much to say other than that. Wow. Destroyed. This man got utterly destroyed here. And I don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah. This song was folklore and Evermore before. Like, it's country, but it's kind of mixed with, like, that storytelling was so refreshing. And, like, not that she was a bad storyteller before. Like, clearly she was able to do this on Red. And, like, if I were to listen to Red for the first time again, yeah, I would feel like that way as well. That there's a lot of storytelling. And there's a lot of storytelling here. It kind of also gives me Dear John vibes a little bit. So, yeah. I'm feeling this one. It's good. Chris Stapleton is not, like, big in it. He's really, like, backing her up. And I like it. Honestly, yeah. I like it. I need to hear it again. And I need to know all the little details. So if you decode at all and you want to tell all your details that you figured out and share all of them with me or someone else, just leave them down in the comments below, because I'd be ecstatic to see what all this song is about. I mean, it is nearly a 5-minute song, and every line is something very distinct. There's so much in it. I mean, one that is sticking out to me right now is the I'm harder to forget than I was to leave. Ooh, that's a lot. That's intense. Frankly, that's so intense. And just saying you're never going to be happy. I don't need to be your strength to figure that out. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of lines. She went off. I have no problems with that. Like, this is iconic. Track number 27 is Forever Winter. He doesn't believe anything he hears these days. He spends most of his flights getting pulled down by gravity. Oh, he's up at 3 a.m. instead of her. My voice comes out begging. All this time I didn't know you were breaking down. Something about Forever Winter. Is this who she's addressing? Calling that person that? Forcing smiles and never minds. I'm scared to death that he'll decide to leave instead. 5 a.m. wasted. Ooh, yikes. I'll be summer sun for you forever. Oh, I'll be forever winter if you go. Yikes. I take that bomb in your hand and disarm it. Please don't go. Oh, she really is begging here. I follow the pieces on the floor if you weren't around. Ooh, now we get some good ad-libs. Every good Taylor Swift song does that. Believe in one thing, I won't go away. So that was Forever Winter. Ooh, that got me in some feels again. Not as much as Nothing New. Nothing New is existential, and that's a different type of sadness than like breakup kind of sadness. This one is about her having communication breakdown. It feels like a story of us, but for the Red era. Yes. And she doesn't realize that he's breaking down, but I don't think he realizes that she will be so devastated if he leaves. Like, she's really deep in this relationship, and unfortunately, as we know, this relationship doesn't work out. Hence the Red album. It's intense. There's a lot of emotions there, and it has to happen at some point. Like, unless you spend forever with someone, like, you are going to have an ugly experience. It's not fun. It's not pretty. And yeah, I like the song. It definitely feels like a song that isn't a single, which is fine. I don't need all these songs to act as singles. Like, this song is like a good, really like a continuation of Speak Now. I feel like this must have been pretty much written early in the phases of this era conceptualizing. I just feel that way because of the fact it has like a lot of similar instrumentation. It kind of feels like a Speak Now like title track or Story of Us in terms of how it's structured and everything. So I could see it there as well. But I mean, I think it fits with the Red era nicely. I think it probably is about our good friend Jake. Good friend. I don't know why I use that term. But yes, I enjoyed this song. Yeah, it's definitely a good background Taylor Swift song, if that makes sense. Track number 28 is Run, featuring Ed Sheeran. I know this is the first song that they wrote together, and it's interesting that, you know, everything has changed. It's not the first one that they wrote together, and that was the one that made it. So I wonder what this precursor is, if it is like in a more infant stage, or if it's going to be a song that's just a different vibe and that I prefer. Who knows? Oh, very stripped back. Give me the keys. We shouldn't be in this town. And the so-called friends that write books about me if I never make it. If I ever make it, sorry. I tried to speed through it. Piece of paper where I wrote. Ooh, I like these background vocals from Ed. Like, you run from the law. Let's run from it all. This also gives like a good folklore Evermore vibe. Ooh, Ed Sheeran does get a verse. I could see this view 100 times. There's a heart on your sleeve, I'll take it when I leave. I feel very calm right now. This thing was a shot in the dark. This is really an eyes closed type of song. So that was Run. Very calm energy. I just was like chilling. I feel like I could sit on a park bench at night. I guess if they're open after dark. Like being outside at night, pretty much is what I mean. And just like exist in the space. Like it feels very calm. I'm in a little cabin in the woods type vibe right now. So it's perfect for that. Like just listening to that, I just feel at ease, and it makes me a little less stressed from, some of the other songs that were more intense. I bet you think about me as an intense song. Message in a Bottle is an intense song. Nothing New is an intense song for all different reasons. And this one was not. It was calm and relaxing. And I liked it. It was nice. And I think lyrically it still worked within Red's catalog. I think it also works within the Folklore Evermore. I don't know. Like, I think it fits within the more, romantic and heartache and like dealing with the red gushy emotions. I think it works for that. But I can also see how it could have been spun for something like that, like in the Folklore Evermore. Like it has a very calm, soothing energy. So it makes me feel like the Folklore Evermore thing was not as much of a giant transition, like in terms of like actually how she was thinking musically. It just seems like the songs like Don't You from Fearless, and then this one, I Bet You Think About Me, Nothing New. It seems like, unless just in the re-recording process she is implementing those sounds into it. I mean, she could definitely have done that. But this is how it was basically originally constructed. Like she did have that sense of the calm folk indie alternative vibe going. She just was going image-wise into a more pop country direction. So I get it now. So I like that we do get this, new look in. I especially think it's something that's part of her journey rather than a change as a result of like getting ready for re-recording after Folklore Evermore. And why I think that is because this is apparently the first song they wrote together, and I feel like they couldn't have changed too much of it. It does give it Everything Has Changed vibes a little bit, but like a little more calmer and a little more relaxed. I don't know how excited people would have been if this was a song between Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran. Like I think Everything Has Changed is more like radio friendly, more buzzworthy, but like this one is just so mellow and chill, and I feel at ease. Track number 29 is The Very First Night. This is our second to last song and is the last one that doesn't have any part of it that I know. I Wish I Could Fly. I'd write this in the sky. Oh my god, okay. Pop time. I Never Go Alone. I Don't Seem Brokenhearted. I drive down different roads, but they all lead back to you. 22 vibes a little bit. The Polaroid Picture. I Wish We Could Go Back in Time. I Miss You Like It Was the Very First Night. We Were Built to Fall Apart. The Night Out in LA. What happened there? Nobody Knows But the Words We Whispered. Take Me Away. Honestly, Taylor. Do you know how much I miss you? Yes. There's a good drop. When we go back in time, I miss you like it was the very first night. Take Me Away to You. So that was The Very First Night. I'm glad we had another upbeat. I felt like Message in a Bottle really needed a friend, honestly. I feel like those are very similar songs, but I also feel like this one also kind of goes with the 22 vibe. And it's just fun. Like, it's so happy. Like a Stay, 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 but a little less cheesy. Still kind of cheesy, though. And I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say. I think I just really enjoy it. I think she can make a good pop hit. We know that she can. And I think this has the potential to be like a hit, like a Mr. Perfectly Fine a little bit, where I feel like it got a little bit of traction. Like, I don't know. I really liked that. And I really like this. I'm sad it wasn't on the original, I feel like definitely it could have been on the deluxe at least. Like, I don't know why I say that and not like the other ones, because I feel like the other ones also could have been. I don't know. I think the very first night much more captures how I feel like she felt at the time. I mean, the other ones obviously do, but I feel like this one matches the vibe of the album a little more. Like, I Bet You Think About Me, I understand why she wouldn't include it. It's definitely a little more country than the album's trying to go for. And, you know, it curses and, like, it's a little extra angry for the album. And, like, Run is a little too chill for the album, and Nothing New doesn't really deal with, like, romance and heartbreak. But this one is, like, very much a Fearless vibe, but, like, within the Red era, if that makes sense. And I think it works. It makes sense for the song to exist. It has that pop production for it to really be in the Red era rather than in the Fearless era. But it does have that like excitement, like, ooh, what could happen? Or, ooh, we do know what happened. And it was very exciting. But there's also like the falling apart in it. So it's like one of those songs that you like dance through the denial, if that makes sense. Yeah. I liked it. I had a good time with it. And I'm glad it's on the album. And I would definitely look forward to listening to it again. Track number 30. All Too Well, 10-minute version, Taylor's version, From the Vault. I know I haven't said the Taylor's version and From the Vault for any of the other songs, but I felt like it was important to note because there's 3 different sets of parentheses here. Oh my god. I am very excited about this. I'm a little nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. Again, it was like how I felt before. I should not be nervous. It's going to be great. I love All Too Well. And this is just more verses and stuff like that, I think. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what didn't make the original cut. And maybe understand why, or maybe you don't. Okay. Similar production to the original. This also might be the same production as like the new Taylor's version. Yes, bring that beat in. That's how you know the song has started. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Reason to go to school in New York. I can picture it after all these days. Wind in my hair, I was there, I remember it all too well. You tell me about your past, thinking your future was me. New part. The patriarchy. You never called it what it was. Check the pulse and come back swearing. All I felt was shame. I don't think I can forget what I just heard. We're dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. Favorite line. Ooh, probably knew something. I kept you like an oath and you kept me like a secret. I swear to remember it all too well. Maybe I asked for too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. Thank you, Taylor. I'm in a new hell. The idea you had of me, who was she? You, that's what happened to you. Sipping coffee like you're on a late night show. It's supposed to be fun, turning 21. The moment I knew. Plaid shirt days and nights. We still have like 3 more minutes, and this is when the original would have ended. Oh, deconstructed time. Your lovers stay my age? I'm a soldier returning half her weight. Did the love affair maim you too? That's the line from that was hinted. First fall of snow. Didn't she use that metaphor earlier? Just between us, did you remember it all too well? Say a prayer, I was there. Oh, this is just like a full-on like outro, I bet. Oh my god, this is the best way to like outro the whole album, isn't it? And we just fully fade out on that, don't we? Yeah, we do. So that was the All Too Well 10-minute version. Wow. We finally heard it. We waited, some of us have waited like 9 years now. Whenever she mentioned that casually. Cruel in the name of being honest. For me, I got back into Taylor Swift right around when 1989 was coming out. Like, I was on Pandora and got through a lot of her back catalog at that point. I mean, I had listened to her, like, Fearless era and a little bit of Speak Now and that, like, when it was coming out. But, like, Red was, like, the one time I was, like, not there at the time. I wasn't there, so I don't remember it all too well. But like when I discovered this song, I fell in love with it immediately, and like the rest is history. Like I love this song. I've sang this song at performances before. Like I love this song, and this 10-minute version that now exists in our hands and in our ears and through our speakers and our headphones and all that. Wow. It has a lot more weight, I feel like. There's a lot of lines. I can't go through all of it because it's 10 minutes. And that still means it's 4.5 minutes of a new song. And there's a lot in there. Like, there's that extra verse about, like, age stuff. There's actually multiple references about age. And, I mean, I know, and I think she realizes much more now, like, with the guys that she was dating that were much older than her, like how kind of predatory they were. Not cool. Not cool. So like that was like interesting to hear that she's really calling him out on that, as well as like how she did on John Mayer. But like this is very explicit. And she also mentioned about like losing weight, which is not really a struggle she opened up much about until like Miss Americana. So like it was something that she thought about releasing, but then she didn't. So it's interesting. Like it's a lot of that angry and bitterness. Like there's some bitterness and anger on All Too Well, but I feel like most of All Too Well in its original state is like looking fondly back at a love that could not last, and there was something bad and there was something messy in there. But really, the bridge is the only thing that really makes it rough, shows that roughness. I mean, it shows like long gone in the pre-choruses, but everything about it is something like positive. Oh, the autumn leaves falling down like pieces in place. You tell me about your past, thinking your future was me. Like all these like really hopeless romantic kind of things. And here she just sounds a lot more like, wow, like I love you, but I also really freaking hate you so much. And the F bomb was like F the patriarchy. Didn't expect that on a Taylor Swift album. Didn't know I could say that and say dash Taylor Swift now because I can now. All right, good to know. And I mean, the other very distinct characteristic like that adds like a lot of time to it, especially is that outro. So different, not something I expected to be in it at all. I don't know I think I like the extra verses and that kind of stuff better. Like, I think that edition and like those editions are like a lot more distinct for me and more, I guess, catching for me, especially as someone who like likes to look at the lyrics a lot. And this is like very repetitive. I mean, I guess it's kind of like the cycle of like memory and stuff like that, which is like really cool when you think about it. So I get it, and I think that's like, it's artistic. It's less interesting to listen to because it does get repetitive, but I do enjoy it. That's not like a thing like, oh, I don't really like the song. I think I won't always choose to do the 10-minute version. I don't have time for that always. I don't have time for the 5.5-minute version all the time. But I think of this almost like a work of art. It's something to be consumed, but sometimes observed or just appreciated. And I fully appreciate this version. And I'm so happy she finally freaking released it. Like, thank you, Taylor. I deeply appreciate it. And I hope you're doing well if you are watching this. And I'm very happy if you're watching this and have made it here. But altogether, yeah, I'll remember this all too well. With that said, we have finished listening to the new songs from Red Taylor's version. And I'm very excited that I got into them. I'm excited about all these vault tracks. Like, they expand the world. And I'm happy to hear about them. I understand why some of them weren't chosen, but just because I understand it doesn't mean I didn't like the song. I like every song on here to some extent. Yeah, I can definitely say that. And there's some that I'm like, wow, those are going to be special to me. Not in the same way that Red was, because Red takes me back to a very nostalgic time. Like, I think I read something about, like, there's a certain age where, like, you form your identity, and it was right when I was, like, deep into listening to Red. Like, 2014 for me. And so, yeah. Intense. But at the same time, I really enjoyed my experience. How we have some pop hits. We have some countryness. We got some anger. We got some sadness. We got some joy. We got Red. It's all in burning red. And, you know, I know that one thing that she was really frustrated about, and she realized when she was going to 1989, she was like, I want it to be sonically cohesive. And she was like, oh, that Red, you know, wasn't sonically cohesive. That was the point that no one got. But it's not intended to be sonically cohesive. And I don't like albums that are really that sonically cohesive unless, like, I really like that sound. I really can go into it. I like how messy it was in that sense. Like, I don't think it's a really messy project, but I think it makes sense for the album. Like, it's supposed to be, like, intentionally messy, and she intentionally made it messy. And so it's nice to hear kind of, like, the mess continue. Like, it spirals, and, like, stuff that was rejected from such a really great album, like, is still gonna be really good. And yeah, I at least like every song that I heard tonight. And there's so many that I'm like, I need to play this, like, on repeat, and I will really enjoy it. So I'm quite happy about that. I think she overall should be really proud of herself. I mean, 30 songs on an album, God, that's a lot. And I'm very excited to listen to the rest of the album. You know, the part I already do know. And if I have any important thoughts, I will put them on the screen right now for you to read and just understand how much this album does mean to me. With that said, here are some of my favorites from the vault in particular. So the top tier are the songs that I love, the standouts, the ones I'm going to be playing over and over. Songs in the middle are songs I like. I'm going to add them to my playlist, but they may not be as, you know, eye-catching, ear-catching as the standouts. And then at the bottom are not really my thing. There's not any. I already know there's not going to be any, so I'm going to just skip through. What did you think of this project? Are you excited about Red Taylor's version? Are you sad that we had to wait so long? I had to wait so long, but it was exciting to have something down in the books that I could just really, like, count on. So, like, I really liked it. It didn't make me spiral out of control like Folklore and Evermore dropping. So I'm pretty chill about it, and I really had an awesome time, and I'm excited to continue loving this album again and again. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below which one you react to listen to next. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be, and thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later. It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Just smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles, from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Just smile big, open your eyes.